Your EcoBoost doesn't throw a warning light when it starts dying. It just quietly eats itself for about 18 months first. I've pulled heads off these engines that looked completely fine on the scanner the week before zero codes. No flashing lights. Owner driving around feeling great about their fuel economy, and underneath, the valves looked like somebody dipped them in roofing tar. By the time that orange light finally pops on, you're not looking at a $40 fix anymore. You're looking at a $7,000 to $10,000 engine replacement. Because Ford's own documented fix for the worst version of this problem is, word for word, replace the engine. And sign number 5 on this list, the one almost nobody checks until it's too late, is happening right now to a huge chunk of EcoBoosts on the road. And most owners won't find out until the head gasket's already gone. Stick around, because I'm going to show you exactly where to look, what to smell for, and what it sounds like before any of that damage becomes permanent. Hit subscribe now, because once you know these signs, you're going to want the follow-up video on how to actually fix the worst one on this list before it bankrupts you. 15 years under these hoods, mostly EcoBoost. Sign number 1 starts with your morning commute. Sign 1. Cold mornings. First 30 seconds after startup, does your EcoBoost sound like it got a brief diesel clatter? A marble in a can rattle that smooths itself out once the engine warms up? That's not normal turbo noise. That's your timing chain telling you it's stretched. The tensioner on these engines is supposed to keep constant pressure on the chain at all times. But as the tensioner wears down, you get slack. And slack means the chain slaps against the guides every single time oil pressure runs low, which is exactly the situation right after a cold start, before the pump has built full pressure. Catch this early. You're paying somewhere around $450 to $600 for a full chain, guide, and tensioner kit. Ignore it, and the chain can actually jump time. And a jump time EcoBoost means bent valves slamming into pistons. That's a $3,000 repair at minimum. Sometimes a full rebuild if the damage spreads. That rattle is your engine's internal timing fighting itself every single morning. But there's a second cold start noise that sounds almost identical and means something completely different mechanically. Sign 2. And this one's quick, 30 seconds. No tools needed beyond your own hands. If you hear a high-pitched whine that climbs and falls in pitch with engine RPM, almost like a tiny jet turbine spooling up, and it's been getting noticeably louder month over month, that's shaft play developing in your turbo bearing. Here's the diagnostic trick. Pull the intake hose off the turbo inlet, reach in, and wiggle the compressor wheel side to side, and then in and out. A little side-to-side play is completely normal. In and out movement, any noticeable shift at all, means the bearing is washing out from oil starvation, and that turbo is living on borrowed time. A replacement turbo, parts and labor, runs $900 to $1,800, depending on which displacement EcoBoost you're driving. Catch that whine early, and sometimes a feed line flush plus fresh, full synthetic, buys you real extra months. Ignore it, and when that bearing finally lets go, metal shavings get pulled straight into your oiling system. And suddenly you're not shopping for a turbo anymore. You're shopping for an engine. A turbo starving for clean oil pressure is usually being starved by something sitting upstream of it, and that something is hiding right behind your intake valves. Sign 3. This is the big one. The slow, silent killer that's almost guaranteed to be happening on your EcoBoost right now if you've crossed 50,000 miles. And it's the actual reason behind that slight hesitation at idle. That stumble you've probably written off as nothing. Direct injection sprays fuel straight into the cylinder, which is fantastic for fuel economy. But it means fuel never washes over the backside of the intake valves the way it did on older port-injected engines. So the oil vapor that naturally gets pulled through your PCV system lands on those valves instead, bakes onto them at combustion temperatures, and hardens into a thick, sticky black residue, almost like dried asphalt, that physically narrows the opening the valve needs to flow air through cleanly. Less airflow means a leaner, lumpier idle, a slight power loss you've probably blamed on the car getting older, and fuel economy that quietly creeps downward over the course of a year without you noticing day to day. A walnut blasting service to strip that buildup off runs about $400 to $600. Skip it past 80,000 miles, and that buildup gets heavy enough to actually disrupt how the valve seals, which opens the door to real misfires and uneven combustion that puts extra stress on everything downstream of it: your catalytic converters, your ignition coils, your long-term fuel trims. And speaking of things that look fine on the surface, until they very much aren't, pop your hood while the engine's running and listen close near the firewall side of the block. Sign 4. You're listening for a faint ticking or hissing sound, almost like a tiny bicycle pump cycling, especially right after a cold start before the metal expands and seals itself back up tight. That's a hairline crack forming in your exhaust manifold. These manifolds run brutally hot under boost. Hot enough that the metal fatigues over tens of thousands of heat cycles, expanding and contracting until it finally splits. By itself, that's not catastrophic. You're looking at maybe $250 to $500 for a manifold replacement if you catch it early. But here's the part nobody tells you at the parts counter. A cracked manifold pulls in outside air that your oxygen sensor was never designed to measure, which throws off your air-fuel ratio calculation entirely. That forces the engine computer to compensate using fuel trims it shouldn't need, and you end up running quietly rich or lean for months at a time, which accelerates the exact carbon buildup I just walked you through and adds extra unnecessary heat stress to your turbo on top of it. One small crack becomes 3 compounding problems if you let it ride long enough. But heat stress on exterior metal is one thing. Heat stress happening inside your cooling system is a completely different, much scarier animal. And this next sign is the one that should genuinely worry you. Sign 5. Pull your coolant reservoir cap off when the engine's cold and take a real sniff. Is there ever a faint sweet smell, almost like maple syrup, even with zero visible puddle under the car and zero warning light on your dash? That smell means coolant is finding its way somewhere it absolutely shouldn't be. On the 1.5, 1.6, and 2.0 liter EcoBoost specifically, there's a documented design issue where coolant can seep through tiny cracks inside the cylinder head and work its way into either the combustion chamber or directly into your oil. Ford acknowledged this in a technical service bulletin back in December 2019, then updated that bulletin again in 2022. But plenty of these engines are still rolling around out there on the original factory head. Here's the part that should actually scare you. Your coolant level can drop slowly week after week, with absolutely no visible leak underneath the car at all, because it's not dripping onto your driveway, it's leaking straight into your engine internally. Catch it early with a simple pressure test, and you might just be looking at a head gasket job. Expensive at $1,500 to $2,500, but completely survivable. Miss it entirely, and Ford's own published fix is a full engine replacement, running $7,000 to $10,000 once you're outside the warranty window. One habit fixes this. Check your coolant level once a week, every week. That single 5-minute habit is the actual difference between a $2,000 repair and a $9,000 one. Now here's the symptom that ties directly back into that exact coolant problem. And it's the one most owners completely misread every single time. Sign 6. White smoke from the tailpipe on a cold start that clears up after a minute or two of driving. Most people glance at that and think, oh, that's just condensation burning off. Totally normal. Every car does that. Sometimes it really is nothing. But if you're also quietly losing coolant with zero visible leak underneath, that white smoke is actually coolant vapor getting burned inside the combustion chamber. And that's your engine physically confirming the internal leak I just described back in Sign 5. The detail that separates harmless condensation from a genuine problem is duration and smell together. Condensation clears out in under a minute and carries no smell at all, while coolant intrusion, smoke lingers longer and carries that faint sweet edge riding underneath it. If you've got that sweet smell from the reservoir and this exact smoke pattern showing up together, you don't have a maybe anymore. You have a confirmed internal coolant leak, And you need a pressure test plus a compression test booked this week, not sometime next month when it's convenient. Quick question for you when you take off from a dead stop. Does your EcoBoost ever feel like it hesitates for a split second before the power actually shows up? Almost like there's a tiny delay between your foot hitting the pedal and the engine actually responding to it? Drop that in the comments below, because that exact hesitation connects directly to the last sign on this list, and it's the one that fools owners the longest of any of them. Sign 7. That hesitation, paired with a check engine light that comes on and then mysteriously goes away instead of staying lit, is the classic signature of a failing low-pressure fuel pump sitting inside your fuel tank. It's not the expensive high-pressure pump everybody worries about and Googles obsessively. It's the cheaper, quieter pump that feeds fuel into that high-pressure pump in the first place. As the filter inside it clogs up or the motor itself simply wears down with age, it loses the ability to maintain consistent pressure under real load, especially during hard acceleration or while towing anything heavy. The engine computer gets forced to pull fuel trims it was never designed to pull that aggressively, which leans out your air-fuel mixture at exactly the moment you're demanding the most power from the engine. A fuel pump replacement typically runs $350 to $550 all in. Ignore that intermittent hesitation long enough, and running that engine lean under repeated load can genuinely damage pistons and valves from excess combustion heat, building up cycle after cycle, turning what should have been a simple $400 part into a $4,000 internal engine problem you could have avoided entirely. Every single one of these 7 signs shares one thing in common: they all show up quietly, well before the dashboard ever decides to say a word, because by the time the computer finally flags it with a light, you're already past the cheap fix and standing in the expensive one. If 15 years of pulling these engines apart has taught me anything, it's that your EcoBoost will always tell you the truth before any dealership scan tool ever does. The real question is whether you're paying attention to the sounds, the smells, and the smoke right now, or whether you're waiting around for a warning light that only shows up after the real damage is already permanent. If you caught yourself nodding along to 2 or 3 of these while watching, you need to watch the video I'm putting right here next, because I walk through exactly how to fix the worst one on this entire list before it turns into a 5-figure bill sitting on your driveway.